right now.
Current capacity. I had the honor of being his guest this May, and between May and now, we have actually been regularly in touch in this intervening period. Now, I first got to know him when we met at the Munich Security Conference, which was well before he became foreign minister. And I must say, even then, I was impressed by his commitment to advancing the India-Germany strategic partnership. I'm very confident that that enthusiasm will now be applied by him fully in his new role. During the day today, we've had detailed discussions on various aspects of our ties. This includes our political cooperation, security and defense, economic relations, research and future technologies, climate and energy, as well as education, skilling, mobility, and people-to-people exchanges. So let me share with you some key points which came out of today's discussion. One, we greatly value the understanding that Germany has shown with regard to India's fight against terrorism. Minister Wadephul has himself been explicit about our right to defend our people against terrorist attacks. Our parliamentary delegation that visited Germany in June after Operation Sindoor was also warmly received. Two, there's been an uptick in our defense and security cooperation. Germany participated in the Tarang Shakti air exercises last year, and its ships made port calls to Goa. Today, we agreed that such participation should be continued, indeed even expanded. In the past, we have had significant export control difficulties in the defense and security domain. I would like to express my appreciation today for the smoothening of these processes and more expeditious clearances. We also spoke about greater industry collaboration between our two countries in this context. Three, our two-way trade last year was almost 50 billion euros. Minister Wadephul is on record. I saw one of his interviews where he said that he was very confident we will be doubling our trade. Let me assure him that India fully reciprocates that sentiment. It looks forward to working with the government, with the German government. And last year, I recall, we had a very successful conference in Delhi of APK, the German Industry Association. And I want to reiterate that we remain fully committed to continuously improving the ease of doing business in this country. And I assured the minister today that any concerns that German companies may have in India, coming to India, establishing themselves, working here, we would be prepared to give it special attention. In the semiconductor manufacturing area, that has actually emerged as a particularly promising domain. We welcome German investments and GCCs. Indian talent can make a significant contribution to Germany's own expanding capabilities here. And I must say that the model of talent preparation and flow that Germany has evolved has been particularly effective. I would really commend our German colleagues for that. And we hope to see that scale up further. 5, we have just marked 50 years of our scientific collaboration. Intensifying that and linking it to industry is the task that we have set for ourselves. Our cyber and digital dialogues are also important. Minister Wadephul visited the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru and also ISRO. And I'm very glad he did, because I think space cooperation has a lot of potential, and we again today agreed that it should be more aggressively explored. 6, on climate and energy, we have been working for the last few years on what's called the Green and Sustainable Development Partnership. Now, some of you would be aware that projects under this have included the Nagpur Metro Rail, green energy corridors in 5 states, and the integrated water transport project in Kochi. Our discussions today also covered green hydrogen, green energy financing, and biofuels. 7. We have seen good progress in education and mobility. I believe that the largest number of foreign students in Germany are now from India. On my last 2 visits to that country, I heard praise for our community's contribution from across the political spectrum in Germany. The skilled labor strategy released by the German government offers a very good framework for mutual benefit. We have also agreed on gratis visas for short-term school and college visits to further promote student exchanges. And 8, on consular issues, I should mention that I raised the issue of Ariha Shah, an Indian child who's been in foster care of German authorities for some time. I underlined to the minister that it is essential that her cultural rights are ensured and she grows up in Indian surroundings. So this matter needs to be resolved without further delay, and I think we've had some discussions today on that subject. Needless to say, we also did a review of the global situation, of regional issues, of multilateral. It included the Ukraine conflict, West Asia, Middle East, and the Indo-Pacific. These were very, very useful, and I must say I really appreciated Minister Wadephul's insights on many of these subjects. So let me conclude by stressing today that we see the world facing the twin challenges of economic volatility and political uncertainty. We believe that a multipolar world with strategic autonomy can best respond through more intensive consultations and cooperation among key member states. It is in that spirit that I welcomed Minister Wadephul and his delegation today, and I must again thank him for a very open, constructive and positive approach to intensifying our strategic partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite His Excellency Dr. Johann Wadephul, Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Germany, to give his remarks to the media.
Herzlichen Dank, meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, lieber Herr Kollege, lieber Jai. Vielen herzlichen Dank für das herzliche Willkommen hier.
Thank you very much for this very cordial welcome with which you've greeted me. It was a pleasure for me to come here. We've actually met in a very short period of time for the third time. And that is a sign of the close friendship we've been able to set up. Reliability, friendship, predictability are in times like these, in times of uncertainty, in times where we witness wars and conflicts, are of invaluable value in these times. And I personally acknowledge and consider it a strong signal of friendship and cooperation of both our countries that we can engage in this spirit of trust and friendship, and that we can look back on a 25-year period of strategic cooperation between both our countries, and that we've been able to expand it at the personal level. I share your analysis completely, 100%, that this partnership when you want to think about or consider strategic autonomy, about sovereignty in the area of economy, but also in the field of security policy, that this is of decisive importance. Of course, we have allies, we've got friends, and for Germany, India is one of them. I had the pleasure today of play hockey for a few minutes with a team of pupils. I wasn't very successful, though, I hasten to add. But it is a team sport, and I would like to make that point. And I believe that India and Germany are playing in the same team. And that is something that I welcome and think is good in these uncertain and turbulent times. And this is reflected in the fact that we look back on 50 years of science cooperation and 60 years since we signed the bilateral cultural agreement. And it is reflected in so many other areas. We have the biannual intergovernmental intergovernmental conference, and we strengthen that team spirit, and I hope that we will also have the Federal Chancellor visit India soon, because we want to tackle the challenges both our countries are confronted with together and to strengthen our cooperation. As a rising economic powerhouse and the most populous country and biggest democracy in the world, India has a special importance in a world region that is of strategic importance. Our economies in particular have a lot to gain, I believe, if we are to further expand our cooperation. I was in Bangalore yesterday and I saw for myself what an innovative powerhouse and technology center India has become. In the area of AI and aerospace, but in other areas too, India wants to and will be at the forefront among the front runners in a whole host of areas. Today we talked about the potential for further enhancing our cooperation, be it in the area of strengthening cooperation in the field of aerospace and space, be it in the area of AI, where we both believe the need to set up norms, rules and values that we also tie here too. With the EU AI Act, the EU has presented an important first building block in that regard. That India is going to host the next AI summit is a demonstration of India's ambition and claim to be in the vanguard and amongst the frontrunners in the area of new technology too. With regard to bilateral trade, India and Germany are already playing in the Premier League. Germany, with little under 31 billion euros of trade, has India as its most important trading partner. As I said to my colleague, we aim to double that. And I'm pleased to see that India takes a similarly positive and optimistic view of the chances for that. And this is why Germany strongly supports the EU-India Free Trade Agreement. And we hope that this can be speedily negotiated so that it can be concluded before the end of this year, in autumn this year, and hopefully lead to a ratification process. If others set up impediments to trade, we should respond by us lowering these impediments and hurdles. We believe that this fosters understanding amongst peoples and their prosperity. Today already we have more than 2,000 German companies that are active on the Indian subcontinent, and India is gaining increasing weight whenever we talk about diversifying supply chains, be it chemical products, pharmaceuticals, textiles, electronics or IT services. The fact that I have with me a large business delegation is a demonstration of Germany's great interest in India's market. Now we also have to make sure that market access restrictions are being reduced in order to tap that enormous potential of enhanced economic relations. We must, however, not lose sight of climate change as we strive to increase growth. Germany's contribution to India's Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative equals to 20 million euros, the aim being to make Pacific island states resilient to climate-induced loss and damage. We both also agreed that we want to create more.
So that was the joint statement in New Delhi. External Affairs Minister also importantly speaking about raising the issue of baby Aria's custody with Germany, as the German Foreign Minister is in the national capital and issuing a statement. We'll shift our